Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It is a Friday fun day, and that means Gulfstream Park, 10 Palms Restaurant. There is a buzz in the air because it's a big race weekend, and tomorrow is the Fountain of Youth Stakes, a big stepping stone on the road to the Florida Derby and Triple Crown. We've got Jeff Defo Forest. We got Tony Segreto, the legend himself. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz. We got food in front of us. But we don't have any live tickets in the early doubles, Tony.
No,
Do you want
we
to tell
didn't.
them about our...
Well, we picked one horse for its name, Big Bouquet of Roses.
24-1.
24-1.
Did we bet it win place show?
No.
We just bet it to win, right, Tony? And where did it finish?
Place.
And who finished first? The chalk. Did we have the chalk in the double?
No.
Defo, did you have anything in that first race?
I used a 5, but with my 7, of course, I saw my birthday numbers were looking promising, and unfortunately the 7 faded like the pig that most people thought that he was.
So we were at cross purposes. If you put me and Tony with our 2-dog, 24-1, with your chalk-eating milk of magnesia pick.
Well, that was only because of numbers. It had nothing to do with that.
No. I mean, don't take
embarrassment in terms of
offense.
theory.
You had a winner. We didn't have anything.
Yeah, he won. Who cares?
But, well,
I didn't
one
win,
horse.
no.
Oh, you
I
didn't
lost
win.
money,
I saw
yeah.
that.
you don't even have a 5-7 double going in the... because
No,
usually
no.
you
I
comp-
thought we had it. I thought we had it.
I never thought we had it, Tony. But what we do have in front of us, look at you. Can you describe your lunch today?
This is a Greek salad with chicken. It is.
Your chicken looks so good. It's completely covering the feta cheese.
It's Lubie's hand on it today. He said, "Please don't overcook it," and it's not overcooked.
And look at that.
It's-
Which is an impressive feat considering they only handle about, on a day like today, about, 600 different covers and
Yeah.
people coming in at the same time. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking to Joe Beja in a minute. Big day.
Big weekend.
Tomorrow, I'm sure they're going to have
I-
1,000 people in here at 10 Palms, plus an event upstairs where yours truly will be attending, along with the Lubitzes,
I will be
right?
there for sure, yeah.
What do we got going tomorrow there, Lubie? What's
It's
on tap?
bourbon and barbecue, right? Is what I think they call it. The
That-
Taste of the Track Bourbon and Barbecue Fountain of Youth edition.
Yes, and we're going to be talking with Joe Beja, the great executive director of hospitality, here in a moment at Gulfstream.
I think tomorrow will equal Florida Derby Day.
Yeah, it's peak season in terms of February. There's a lot of people in town, and the Florida Derby is at the end of March this year. It's on March 29th. And you know what? In the track's favor this year is the fact that both Easter and Passover are very late. I actually was looking it up on the calendar. April 12th is the beginning of Passover, and April 20th is Easter Sunday, which also happens to
Jesus, super
coincide
late.
with. Do you know what 420 is?
I went to FSU. Yes, I know it very well.
So that is National Marijuana Day, where you can absolutely celebrate, I guess, Easter Sunday by maybe, if you have a medical card,
Toking, yeah, exactly.
like some of us do. That would be sacrilege, though.
Yeah, if
I'm
you didn't
sorry.
give it up for Lent, it's not so sacrilege.
Oh, yeah. And that brings us to a big week coming up because Tuesday on the calendar, do you know anybody want to guess what it is?
Well, it's Fat Tuesday, right?
No,
Yes, it is.
So
Fat
it-
Tuesday,
Yeah.
Fat Tuesday, and Wednesday starts Lent.
which is the day after Fat Tuesday, is also known as.
What is it? I don't know.
Come on, Tony,
Why?
you're a
Jewish.
good Catholic boy.
Lent. Oh, Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday.
Ash
I don't know.
Wednesday. How is it that a Jew from Brooklyn knows to go
You're
like
married to a
this?
staunch Catholic. My Catholic wife, I
but-
guess, isn't as staunch as she would like to be.
You
She hasn't
know-
taught me that one.
They talk about giving stuff up. Catholics give up stuff for Lent. If you're over 70 years old, you don't have to give it.
77
No,
or
70.
70. Okay.
You don't have to give anything up.
You get papal dispensation to giving up stuff for Lent.
Yes.
That sounds like a deal. Defo, I guess that means, well, I was going to ask what you're giving up for Lent, but since you are over 70, you don't really have to give up anything.
I wouldn't be inclined to do that anyway.
One
Exactly.
Lent. One Lent.
And speaking of giving up things, dry February is almost over.
There you go.
It's February 28th. I'm going to go all the way to noon tomorrow at the start of the Bourbon and Barbecue event here
Nice.
on the 3rd floor of the Flamingo Room here at Gulfstream. So I've got, how long, gentlemen? About 22 hours
Yeah, that's at least it's less than
and
24.
55 minutes.
21 hours and 55 minutes.
No, 24. 24 minus 55. Remember, there's 24 hours in a day. Tony.
23 hours and 5 minutes. Either way,
Hey, you
we're
know
almost
what?
there, dang it.
Mike got a great report from the doctor.
Yeah, we talked about
Yes, we did talk about earlier this week. And yes, I survived the hellish catacomb of doom, and that is the 90-minute scan in an MRI tube. But after it was over, getting all those positive reports, I'm going to celebrate with a French dip, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of shaved beef, a little bit of au jus, and dunking it in and saying, here's to a happy weekend for all of us.
You know what? I gave up one Lent.
that. Would you do it every year? Because
Yeah.
my wife, our first year, did it and I think she gave up meat. I know you do meat, but she gave up something else. Oh, she gave up Coke because she loves Coke. So she gave up Coke and literally
Cocaine?
No, literal Coca-Cola, the DI-friendly Coca-Cola. And that was 7 years ago. She's never done it since. So is this something like you have done it you do it every year?
Every year.
Wow, good for
I
you.
gave up capers one year.
Papers.
Is that it? Oh,
You sound like
working
me.
the game?
I was
You're
like-
working the game?
I was like 13. You know, I was like,
Now, I'm not religiously inclined. Obviously, though, the
In your life,
mother
you've
of
done
my
it, yep.
child is Catholic. My daughter is being raised Catholic, and I'm now with another Catholic woman. So I'm always been surrounded by people that are talking about giving up things for Lent. You know what I usually give up, Tony?
Do you give up anything?
Rutabagas.
Oh, Jesus.
it's like giving up capers.
Capers. This year I'm giving up caper berries because I took a bite of one and that nearly killed me with my diverticulitis. But no, but Lubie, do you ever partake? Because it is kind of one of those
Never
things
done
like
one.
it's
I'm
nice to
Jewish.
give up a bad habit for 40 days and nights? Yeah.
I do the Jewish. Look, again, my religiosity has waned over the years the older I get. But I've always believed in the traditions, and I hope to have children one day, so I want to pass on tradition. So I have followed the Jewish tradition, where, again, I do Passover and I observe Yom Kippur. So that's why when Shirley did Lent, I didn't do it with her, but I also didn't egg her on, right? Like, I didn't have soda with her, and I watched my meat intake around her. But that's on her. Like, I'm not Catholic, and I never pretend to be, and our children won't. They'll be both.
What's challah bread?
The egg bread, the yellow
Yeah,
bread.
it's sweet, though, right?
It's got a little
They
sweetness.
can't have a sweetness.
Yeah, because of the eggs, it gives that little bit
It's
of
more fluffy. It has more fluffiness than a lot of
makes
other
great
breads.
French toast.
And it's
Yeah.
fantastic French toast.
Yeah, that is a thing. I think I am going to give up something this year because, in keeping with my whole tune of cutting back and Mike moderation mayo,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be rutabagas. It's not going to be some obscure vegetable.
Capers.
Capers. I think I'm going to give up all kinds of cookies, cakes, and I'm not going to say pies because Pie Day is coming up on March 14th. But I'll throw pies in too. Cookies, cakes, and pies. I will only allow myself to have a little bit of ice cream every now and then.
There you go.
Because,
You can Sundays. Your dispensation.
Oh, you mean my cheat day?
Yeah.
Cheat
Oh,
day.
there's a weekly cheat day. That's so funny.
That's good. You seem to have a lot of carve outs. You must know the Pope.
Yeah, Tony, the
right?
guy that's Catholic. You find all the workarounds. I
Me
love
and the
that.
Pope are like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least the Archbishop
Archdiocese.
of Miami,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, he was close.
Yeah. Hey, how is the Pope doing, by the way? We haven't gotten any kind of health reports in a couple
He-
of days,
he
and I'm
is,
getting a little bit.
He's holding his own, I guess. I mean,
Okay. He's had a lot of issues going on between the pneumonia and then they said some kidney failure. So I didn't realize he's like 86 or 88.
88, I think.
I love this Pope, by the way. And
I do
I
too.
wish him nothing but health and continued long life. But he seemed to have run himself ragged, like he was doing outside homilies earlier this month. And I think they said that exacerbated the situation. The Pope, unlike our current president, is not a little afraid of the cold.
No, that
Yes.
guy's a
Some
G.
Messy weather.
Yeah.
But all right.
He's tough cookie. He is.
Well, he's open-minded. I love these popes that have been more open-minded in
Yes,
recent years.
he's
you know?
open-minded. He's progressive, and he's good for the church. He was for the church just to stark
Contrast.
reality, but he's proven he's good for it.
Yeah, I love it.
And, not that I love talking about religion or politics, but I do. But what I love about this Pope is that on Good Friday, I mean, he really does Christ-like things. He channels the spirit of Christ, and he washes the feet of the poor.
Yes, he does.
And
Oh,
he
he does?
washes
Oh,
the
wow.
feet of Muslims. He goes to prisons.
He goes to
Oh, wow,
prisons.
really?
And to be able to do something like that, an act of basically what do
Doing
you
what
call it, like
Christ did.
supplication and service, even to those who are completely different than you, who have different beliefs than you. And I think the world needs more of that.
Yes.
And this
Amen.
concludes Mike Mayo's soapbox for the day.
Amen.
So let's see, do you want to get a contest out of the way first?
Yeah, let's get it done.
Let's get it out of the way right before Joe Beja. Here we go. And, Sarney, sorry, I am not using the Oscars and who's going to win Best Picture as the
As the
tiebreaker.
yeah.
Does anybody? Okay, this would be, I guess, a good
I don't even know
contest breaker,
films in there.
tiebreaker. Defo, can you name 3 pictures of the 10 nominated for Best Picture this year
No
in
way.
the Academy Awards?
There's no way.
The Wicked, is that one of them?
That is one of them.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Other than that, I have no idea. I'm very disappointed, though. I wanted to go see that Led Zeppelin movie, Becoming Led Zeppelin. And apparently it's not that popular, so I probably have to catch it on Netflix, because it seems like even at the AMC with 18 theaters in Pompano Beach, they're down to 1 showing a day at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, wow. That's prohibitive.
So, yeah, that's unfortunate, because I hear it's really good.
So you could say the movie about Led Zeppelin sunk like a Led Zeppelin?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it could be one of those. Could be one of those movies that unfortunately is going to be great, but people didn't really catch on. But they have some rare footage. And then my favorite rock drummer of all time is the great John Good Vibes Bonham, who was brilliant. So yeah, I was
He's
curious to
dead,
see it.
right? Like
Oh,
all the
long
great
gone,
drummers.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Long
his
gone.
son is carrying on his tradition.
Jason Bonham is actually a really good guy. He lives in South Florida.
And he plays
Is he really?
hard
Carried
rock.
on the tradition, and it's interesting because it'd be very hard. I mean, there are drummers that can replicate what John Bonham was doing.
Why don't you
but,
try to get him on the show with you?
I've talked to him on the shows in the past. I've seen him at a bunch of charity events, and he actually is one of the few guys. I mean, you see father and son combinations in sports, baseball, boxing, basketball, and the son is rarely able to replicate what the father did. Sometimes they eclipse what they did. But when you listen to Jason Bonham, he sounds exactly like John Bonham.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible, because
Yeah.
that's not an easy thing to do.
Now, I'm surprised that one of the films that you haven't seen or was just named was the complete unknown, the biopic about Bob Dylan. And
Yeah,
is
I
that,
thought about going. That's another one I'm waiting on for Netflix.
really? I think it's. I think you'd enjoy it immensely. I
Yeah,
think
I probably
also,
would.
I
Yeah.
think it's also one of those things. I'm old school.
Severance is a
Tony-
good movie.
Tony, you are the king of old school. Don't you like going to a theater and escaping
Oh, yeah.
the world and sitting in a dark room with a bucket of popcorn or
Perfect.
maybe raisinets?
Perfect.
Yeah.
It beats it. My wife said, the movie industry is dying. I said, not if we can control it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, no, I still like going. I like
I
the
love
whole
going.
big
It depends.
picture.
I like when it's
the
a big deal.
surround sound and a complete unknown. Look, Timothy Chalamet is probably going to win Best Actor Oscar for his performance as Bob Dylan, and I very much enjoyed it in the theater. And I would say it's not going to win Best Picture, but he is going to win an Oscar for Best Actor. I have no idea who's.
Severance will win.
Wait, Severance? I thought that's a show on
Oh.
Apple TV,
Yes,
which
yes,
I've been
yes,
meaning
yes.
to start watching.
It's a good show.
But there's a bunch of, and see, that's how much people know about the current crop of films. There's something called Nickel Boys, which is based off a novel.
Even
There's
more, I
something
forgot about
called
Wicked.
Amara. I have no idea. That might be about a refrigerator company.
no idea.
Oh, that's Amana. Then
idea.
there's that one, Rosita Perez, or something about some.
That is one of the.
Trans-
That's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen, because Shirley
You
and I
saw it?
at home. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Shirley and
Oh.
I, because of all the buzz, and I don't mind Selena Gomez. I like
Wait,
the show on
wait,
Hulu.
she's in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was heralded. She's gotten a lot of crap because of her Spanish but she also was gotten a lot of credit for it as well.
This
and I
is
like,
the which one? The Perez.
and I
one?
like Zoe Saldana. So
But isn't there a trans
yes,
actor,
yes.
actress?
That's the main person
And
who
then
actually
she
has been
got caught,
canceled. Yes.
like saying all
'Cause she's
these
a tr-
horrible things.
She's
on...
a trans person who hates everyone. It's like the weirdest. It's like the weirdest thing. Like she's a trans person who's alt-right. So it's like, and in the film, they played true to form. It's a trans person that is like alt-right. I don't want to give the movie away because it's gotten acclaim, but like, so we watched it, and it's not only not good, but it like they made it a musical, and it's not a there's no need for it to be. It's not a musical. They just randomly start singing, and it doesn't fit within the movie at all. So I'm not trying to ruin it for people who haven't seen it. You should watch it because it's gotten all this acclaim, but
I think
it was just not a good movie. Like it wasn't good.
A big backlash against it in the late stages. So I'm going to say that.
Well,
it's
and that
not
person
gonna
was
win
canceled. The
Best
person,
Picture.
like, there's a bunch of tweets that were unearthed, and like the lead is like super. I don't know if anything, but very racist and very prejudiced, and just yes, and it is a trans person, it's a man, I guess, that transitioned into a woman, and it's very awkward.
There has
Did you
been,
run into Ron DeSantis when
Yeah,
you were watching?
exactly. Exactly.
There
I don't
is
see
good,
DeSantis watching
Was he
this.
sitting
may
there with
like
his
it.
wife holding hands?
He might like it, actually.
there has been good entertainment involving characters that are that people that you don't necessarily root for, or that are harbor prejudice and racism, like Archie Bunker. I mean, who didn't love All in the Family back in the day?
But what was great about that show was that was the point of the show was
Right.
everyone else would look at him like, dude, what are you doing? When he was being overtly that way, right?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
that's not this. Oh, that's
and
interesting.
people
that we
just
had that happen.
cannot grasp the concept of walking around the extra 10
The
feet to
chair is
serve
there for a
food
reason.
I don't know. So, anyways,
it seems like they want to
I love Sarni, but yes, there's already more Oscars talk than I thought we would do because in this day and age, a lot of it's independent stuff that people don't see or ritzy, whatever,
So and the thing is, I used to
Glitzy,
love
whatever.
Oscar night. I used to see all the Oscar movies, and this year I just don't care. So I'm going to
My
go.
wife and I said, what are the movies? We
I'm
knew
not
Wicked.
even watching it Sunday night.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care
yeah.
who's hosting. I don't care what.
Conan O'Brien's hosting.
Oh, well, he's
And
good. Maybe I'll
Conan's
watch
good.
it.
Yeah, I
All
like
right,
Conan. I would
so-
actually watch it just for him. Like, I don't care about the movies.
Yeah, maybe he'll do some good skits. The problem is they usually do a skit spoofing on all the movies, and I wouldn't recognize any of
Yes.
the movies or the
Right.
jokes spoofing on them. Hey, you know what? No contest until after the break. Let's take the first break because that's sometimes
got
how I
lost.
roll. I do want to put out the good word about our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. It is the weekend, and that is the weekend brunch place to be. If you're not going to come out to the track tomorrow or Sunday, then you want to check out one of Batch's 3 Southern Kitchen, Scratch Kitchen locations: West Palm Beach, West Delray Beach, and Fort Lauderdale, 525 North Federal Highway. Don't forget Fort Lauderdale. There is free parking in the garage on the adjacent street, the side street right there. Go on in. Every day there's a rave review on Let's Eat South Florida about the latest heroics performed by Kevin, Brandon, Jennifer, the whole great management team and service crew at Batch. I mean, whether it's celebrating a birthday where you bring your dog and you can sit outside and they'll bring your dog a birthday gift,
Yep.
or
Thing with the
holding
umbrella
the
was like a big
umbrella
deal,
in the
yeah.
rain. They are masters of hospitality. They call it unreasonable hospitality. That's the name of the philosophy that they adhere to. And they also have great food and a great place to be. The bottomless drinks for the weekend brunches, along with lunch and dinner the rest of the week. Batch, New Southern Kitchen and Tap. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Let's come back with a contest for Sunday brunch right here at 10 Palms after these words. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima for reservations. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and all right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and apparently the world is going to hell in a handbasket, but that's okay. We've got horses running, the sun is shining, French dips being dipped. It's beautiful. Remarkable turn of events, just transpired apparently in front of the world's cameras from the Oval Office, and it's the ultimate reality show. And you just got to
That's actually the best way to put
it. Breathe deeply, and hopefully that there will be sensible heads prevailing at some point. But boy, oh boy, folks, this is what you voted for. And I'm just going to sit back and count the hours until gummies start kicking in again, because I'm going to need them more than ever. All right, let's do a contest, gentlemen, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Whew. All right, World War III.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Excellent.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, Tony.
Yeah.
I had a good life. It was really good.
You can say
Got to
goodbye.
grow a lot of
I'm not
people.
saying goodbye. It's just
No,
it's just interesting. You just said
youth.
it. It's become reality TV, which is weird to say about things in the actual Oval Office.
What do you happen when you have a comedian and a reality TV host?
Yeah, that's what you get, I
who
guess.
is the ultimate. Well, I'm not even going to go there.
TV
Time
show.
for this week's Lunchbox 10 Palm Sunday Brunch giveaway. And sorry, Sarni, you're going to be disappointed with the tiebreaker. It's not the Oscars. It's not a college basketball game. It's not an NBA game. It's another horse race.
Nice.
We're going to be doing a true late double, daily double contest this week because you're going to have to answer this week's restaurant questions along with horse selections for the final 2 races on Saturday's card, and they're biggies. It's going to be race number 13, numbers 1 through 8, which is the Grade 2 Coolmore Fountain of Youth Stakes for 3-year-olds, going 1 mile and 1/16 on the main track. And then, if you get the winner of that, you advance to the tiebreaker race, which is the 14th race on the card, numbers 1 to 12, a 12-horse field, and it's one of everybody's favorites. I can't even pronounce it. The Mac Diarmida Stakes for 4-year-olds and up, going 1 3/8 miles on the turf course.
So this is here?
Mac Diarmida. Yes, the 14th race at Gulfstream is the tiebreaker.
Okay.
The 13th race is the initial contest race.
Yeah.
So do you know? Yeah, it's a late double. You've come up with late doubles before, right?
Defoe's the
Jeff
king.
Defo the Forest.
Defoe's the
He's
man.
cracking
We're
up.
trying to figure out if this guy looks like Larry David.
Yes,
that's
that
really
guy
been-
does look like, oh, that's what it is. I'm like, that guy looks like something. He looks like Larry David.
Yeah.
Maybe
Tony and I originally, I thought, from a distance, he looked like Larry David. I thought it was Larry David. Then it obviously wasn't Larry David, but now that he walked by us again, what do you think, Larry David?
maybe it's
Larry
Bernie
David.
Sanders. Could it be Bernie Sanders or Larry David?
No, not kooky enough.
The hair's not.
Yeah,
and
it
wild
doesn't
enough.
have that like Professor Irwin Corey hair.
Do you know
It's
that?
Mac
Did you
Diarmada,
see
by the
that
way.
they
Mac
had
Diarmada.
Mac
Yeah,
Diarmada.
Diarmada.
5,000
Yeah.
people.
Diarmida, Diarmada.
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 I mentioned that name many, many times
Mac
over the
Diarmada.
years of doing
There
horse
had
racing
5,000
coverage.
people when he spoke in Dakota, South Dakota.
Yeah.
And
Well, what do you think, Mayo? You haven't looked at this guy. Is that Larry
He
David?
looks like Larry David.
You're a big Larry
He
David
really
fan.
does.
No, it actually
What
looks
are you
like
talking about?
No, it's not Larry.
You're talking
David.
Bernie Sanders.
No,
No,
I'm talking
that's
about,
an
he's
insult
looking
to
at
the
us
guy.
now. Like,
Well, obviously, because he looks like Larry David, and
He
people probably
probably
stare at
gets
him all
that all the time. Hey, probably. Not you guys, too.
He's a big sport fan, Larry David, so I wouldn't be surprised. If he
I'd
was.
say it looks a little like Burt Rappaport, but what do I
He
know?
looks like Rappaport. That's what
Reynolds.
Rappaport almost has a baby.
Does he look like Burt Reynolds?
If
No,
it's Mac
not-
Diarmada, how come it's at the spelling here?
Because the
is
spelling might be
M-I-D-A?
wrong. Yeah.
The spelling's weird. Why
Mac
do you?
Diarmada.
Why do you?
It's right
force-
here. It says M-I-D-A. I'm just.
Oh, no,
pronouncing-
it's spelled wrong.
It's
Yeah,
spelled wrong.
it's
yeah.
Mac
So you're
Diarmada.
saying the fine people at Equibase
Yes, they
can get
spelled
a
it wrong.
major
I
stake.
mean, maybe in the transition.
happen. Anyways,
yeah,
let's-
things happen.
Let's get to the contest.
All right.
Mr.
So
Amanda.
again, a restaurant, a winner of the Fountain of Youth numbers 1 through 8, the
Nice.
13th race, and then a winner of the Mac
Cut that in
Diarmada numbers
Just take the
1
whole
through
half
take
and
the
just
half.
go eat
No,
them.
I
12,
can't.
and that's the
Come on.
14th race on the card tomorrow.
Feel like
It's all you. You
And
can have the whole
here
thing.
we go. And if you win, you get the brunch package for 2 right here at
Yes.
Fabulous 10 Palms. All right, for this
You
week's
need some of this
restaurant,
stuff.
we celebrate
Yeah.
Mardi Gras,
it away.
aka Fat Tuesday, which
Nice.
is on Tuesday, March 4th,
Nice.
You're a horseradish guy?
with a historic restaurant in the American city that's most associated with Mardi Gras. Do you know
That's
what city?
horseradish, right?
It
That
is
is
horseradish. Good
horseradish,
man.
yes.
Nolans.
Try some of that, too.
Do you know what city is most associated
Nolans,
with
I
Mardi
just said
Gras?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay,
Well-
here we go. We've got the drinks flowing.
Look at my man.
Here we go. This French Quarter Eatery is the oldest restaurant in New Orleans and one of the oldest continuously operating restaurants in the whole country.
Oh, wow.
It opened in 1840. Can you do the quick math on that one, Tony?
85.
185 years.
Jesus.
185.
180.
1840.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's been run by the same family, the Alciatores, for 5 generations. And number 2, it's known as the birthplace of Oysters Rockefeller,
Oh, I love oysters.
which were created by its second generation family chef in 1899.
Are you a fan of oysters, Rockefeller?
I do.
Yes.
And
You like
do you
them?
know
Would you
why-
take them over grilled oysters?
And they're so good. They're so good in
it's
New
with
Orleans.
that creamy
Wow.
spinach topping?
Oh,
Do you know why they were named Oysters Rockefeller?
Because Nelson
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller loved them.
It wasn't because the Rockefeller family requested them or loved them. It's because they were so rich. The richness
they
of
were
the
like the
sauce
rich.
triggered the name. And at the time, in the
You didn't
1890s,
eat like
when
that,
they
right?
were created, which was the age of robber barons,
Listen to this
which
guy's
is-
knowledge
I love
of
how you
food
know this
history,
stuff.
man.
Which
I love how you
is-
know
who
this
the hell
you
would
know,
know
back
this?
when there were
Mayo.
Vanderbilts and
and-
Carnegies and Rockefellers.
So would
that-
you order them over other choices of oysters, given like that you haven't had oysters for a while, and this was going to be your go-to dish. With
I'd
oysters
order
Rockefeller.
raw oysters first.
My wife loves oysters Rockefeller. She does.
Mike, non-moderation pig mayo likes oyster Rockefeller. Mike, moderation mayo likes just plain raw oysters shucked plain with a little bit of mini
No
sauce.
grilled.
I love
I
grilled
love
oysters.
I love at New Orleans when you go to the bar, they shuck them, right? They shuck them, and you take them, you shuck them, you take them.
Yeah.
and
I like
you eat 'em.
grilled is my favorite.
I'm a big grilled guy.
All right, so it was the birthplace of Oysters Rockefeller in 1899. And number 3, this restaurant, I'm not sure if they have king cakes for Mardi Gras, but the restaurant is famous for its baked Alaska dessert and also bread pudding.
Choker salad would know the answer. by the way.
for sure.
Again, it's, Googleable. And I'll give an obscure
Googleable? Okay.
reference that only New Yorkers of a certain age will know. The name of this restaurant is also the last name of a famous weatherman in New York named Tex, who
Oh,
got
yeah.
thrown off the
Oh, okay.
air
That gives it away.
after giving. Well, that gives it away to people like us that grew up in New
No,
Yeah,
York.
but
like
the guy was world renowned
He was
because he did
Tex
the
Blank.
sketches. He did the sketches. All
He
the
did
time.
the sketches,
Yeah.
and then he made an unfortunate joke about an unfortunate subject, and he got booted off the air.
But
He
that
one of
was
the-
a shame. I mean, he had a long Tony. You can
Do you
appreciate
know the
this
name?
long, distinguished broadcasting career, and then all of a sudden, politically incorrect with something. Boom, he's out the door.
Do you? And again, I guess he was one of the first to get canceled back before canceling was a thing.
When political, being politically incorrect was not even in
Not even a
vogue.
thing.
This
No.
guy got booted, man.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
he was soupy sales,
You
asking
gotta-
kids to bring money from their
This was
parents'
worse.
purse.
This
send it
is.
to
I'm not even going to go into what he said.
Hey, let's not
or what
do that.
got him
What did he
booted off
say?
there. I'll tell you all.
I don't,
on the
I don't
next
remember
break.
why he got booted, but he left in disgrace, which was a shame because he was a very likable guy.
He said, "If blank is inevitable, you might as well sit back and enjoy it."
Oh, well, I mean, Gonzo City, man. I mean,
That's it.
Tony, if Ann Bishop said that, she would have been gone. That's for
If
sure.
I said it, I'd be gone.
Well,
Yeah.
you wouldn't say something like that.
No, he's a pro, and that guy, he had a bad day. I think he had a couple of
Gummy
martinis.
bears.
at
Too many
maybe-
gummies that
at-
day. Yeah, they didn't have gummies back then. But I
but
loved it when he did the little sketch, man. I don't even remember why, and it was a character that he had that he was
Weaver,
drawing.
Weaver did that too, but
No, Weaver was betting dogs at the Biscayne Kennel
he was
Club
riding
between
backwards.
ships. Oh yeah, nice.
oh, by the way, I never said if you know all 3 components, email it to Mike Mayo.
Now you got to
Eats.
hit 2 races. You got to hit the
Mike
double?
Mayo Eats at gmail.com by noon tomorrow, March 1st. At noon tomorrow, March 1st, 2 significant things happen. Number 1, it's the deadline for entries in the weekly contest. Number 2, I'll be guzzling from the industrial size bourbon bottles arranged upstairs on the 3rd floor for the bourbon and barbecue event. You can get tickets now
This
at
contest is impossible.
gulfstreampark.com.
Gotta earn. You gotta earn your vouchers.
There's 12 horses
You
in
gotta
the
come up with
last
your number.
race.
First thing
You got to hit
do
a wide open fountain of youth.
come up with the restaurant. No, the first race that gets you to the last
You gave
race.
away the restaurant.
You give.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
and
restaurant
let's
would
talk
make
about
easy.
the Fountain of Youth for a second because
The
I am
Fountain of
really into this race, and that is the first contest race. In order to advance to the tiebreaker,
It's my
you get-
favorite race on the entire season, the championship meet, the Fountain of Youth,
yeah,
for many reasons.
8-horse field. I think pretty much I give a chance to 6 out of the 8 horses. It's a
There you
wide
go.
open field. I've been studying it. Again, I told the story about how one of the horses, there's 2 Todd Pletcher trained horses in the race. One of them is going to go off with the favorite, River Thames, which everybody has been
Yes.
talking about him all
all
season.
season long.
And he won his maiden. He won his last race, a nice allowance. And now he's going into the stakes company, River Thames. But I like the other Pletcher horse who's named Gate to Wire with Dylan Davis. And his move
The
in
red
the last
hot
race,
Dylan Davis.
Red Hot Dylan Davis.
I like him too because he moves. He moves at the last second. And he moves.
He
big.
made this move
Oh,
like
my
a
God.
stunning last to first move.
With his
Tony
horse
with his handicap.
expertise.
And that
You
was
know, man.
Oh,
that
you're
was-
surprising me,
that
Tony.
was in the Swale Stakes earlier this month on the same day as the Holy Bull. It's only 7 furlongs, but Gate to Wire went off at 15-1 under Dylan Davis.
There's a restaurant connection there. You know this.
And well, what's the?
Who's Geach CJ
Yeah.
at Cafe Seville?
I told the
His
story the other
favorite
day.
jockey is
Yeah.
Dylan Davis.
Did you the other day? I told you how Dylan Davis was in Cafe Seville on
Oh, he went
Wednesday
there?
night,
Oh, get out of here.
and
Geach must have been all over him, man. Did any other tables get service?
no, but
He said
the
no.
story that I told the other day was how Dylan Davis relayed to Joey Esposito and Geach and the crew at Cafe Seville how he got on board the horse gate to wire before the swell as they're going around the paddock. You know, the
He called
trainers,
it.
the
And then he won by
trainers,
5. He won
the
by 5
trainers
lengths,
give
yeah.
instructions to the jockeys.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll say
Yeah, you told
take
us that.
back a little bit.
Ran
Sometimes
loose.
they'll say go to
You
the
said they
front.
said
Oh,
loose.
yes.
And the only instruction that Todd Pletcher gave to Dylan Davis was enjoy the
Oh,
ride.
at Gilbert. You said this at Gilbert.
Yeah, I remember
Enjoy
that now, yeah.
the ride.
Yeah, it's when
and which
I
means
think it was eating
Lenore-
cheesecake at the
we
time.
were
so
like
I,
enamored by
no
the
interest
but
in
basically,
Mayo's,
Dylan
theory,
Davis
yeah.
took back with the horse off a speed duel. He was actually last going into the far turn, and then he made this ferocious move,
I
which is
saw the
Dylan
impressive.
Davis is riding great. I mean, it started to really emerge last year, and Geach was always telling me every race I bet Dylan Davis, and then finally I don't do it, and boom, he wins at 35 to 1. You know how people are.
Yeah,
about that.
and you'll never see 15 to 1 on gate to wire again. I have some questions about the distance and the breeding because he's out of Munnings, who's more of a 7 furlong 1 turn mile sire.
Just
but,
roll with the punches.
well,
man.
I'm gonna.
Is
I'm
he the
gonna-
favorite or is he?
No, he's listed at 6 to 1 in the morning.
That's not
line.
bad for a horse that
In
everyone
an
loves.
8-horse
like-
field. Well, some of the wise guys love him. And, you know, look, there's a regally bred horse from Bill Mott called Sovereignty, who also made a colossal last to first move in his previous race at Churchill Downs, a stakes race back in October. But he's making a seasonal debut. And Mott has been very vocal in this is not what they're pointing to, that he's not fully cranked, that it's basically kind of a glorified workout. And everybody's figuring this horse has great ability, but his running style and everything is he'll probably finish 2nd or 3rd. So I'm going to use Sovereignty. Of course, he'll probably end up winning by 12 lengths or something like that. And then the other horse I like is Irad Ortiz is jumping aboard a Safi Joseph horse, and Safi has
Safi Joe.
the
Talk
good,
about red hot.
the
That's
good
right.
mojo going lately.
Wow.
So I'm boxing those 3 horses. I'm throwing out River Thames, believe it or not.
It'll be a hell of a
favorites.
race.
You'll live to regret that, probably.
And the other thing is, do you know all of these horses that win tomorrow? That's fine and dandy. It's a big, great race. But the winner of the Florida Derby has already run this week and has already won this week here at Gulfstream. It happened yesterday. And the name of that horse is Grande.
Grande.
Oh,
It's owned by Todd. It's trained by Todd Pletcher, and it's owned by Mike Rapoli Stables. This is a horse I think Pletcher
Oh, the
has.
5-ball that was running
The
yesterday?
5-ball
Yeah, that
ran-
horse
ran-
was good.
I threw a lot of money on him because I loved his maiden race.
Very nice.
I'm surprised he wasn't 1 to 2. When I saw he was a little shade over
This
even money.
is a Nick Zito pattern from way in the past where a horse wins an allowance race, doesn't have stakes credentials yet, and then goes on and wins the Florida Derby.
This is Mike Rapoli is
Yeah.
one of Pletcher's, main owners. I think the game plan is he's got a real runner here. He's not going to put him through the grinder yet of the top flight competition. Could have put a good foundation. The horse is 2 for 2. Has looked very impressive in both his wins. He's going to put him in the Florida Derby. He's going to win the Florida Derby at 4 to 1, and he's going to go right to the Kentucky Derby after that. So there you have it.
That's
That
it.
is Mike Mayo.
I don't know, but
And
both
So
of
you,
you guys.
you gave away the restaurant. You've given us your handicap on the Fountain of Youth, and then you want people to pick one of 12 horses in the last
There
race
you go.
to
Dear
break the tie.
mother.
You couldn't have listened to Sarni one time.
That's what the
One
that was
time.
the
There were
same.
only 5 movies eligible for the Oscar. I'll give you my Fountain of Youth story, my favorite Fountain of Youth
Yeah, go
story.
ahead.
I'm doing a live broadcast on Sunshine Network, now FanDuel TV. It's gone through various transitions. And I'm, Tony can relate to this especially. You're locked into a seat. You've got an IFB in your ear. You're kind of tied down there. They got tape on your neck and all this other stuff. I've told Lubie this story before. And rolling by me in one of the preliminary races as it's about to go off, as I'm on the set, is the fabled trainer, may he rest in peace, the great late Angel Medina. So Medina and I had a pretty good connection for many, many years. And he gives me the signal that his horse is a go in this next race. I look on the board, the horse is 40 to 1. All right, so I'm thinking, well, geez, I don't want to pass on this, but I don't know that any of the people that I'm working with have the ability, knowing the lingo, to go and make this bet. So I during the break, I called down to the producer, the director, and I say, hey, listen, it would be really interesting if you gave me a live mic and I went up and made a bet on this previous race. right? So they do it. They disconnect me from everything. I go up there with a live mic, and I go in. I bet 50 to win on the 8. And sure enough, that was the Medina special. He wins, pays $80.
Oh, wow.
And I was dancing my way. It was the best broadcast I ever did after that. I didn't care that I got buried in a fountain of youth because I was walking out there
felt like
with
a
several
genius.
dimes. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic.
That's a good story. We
That's
hope
amazing.
everybody has
good luck
as
with you
good a
guys.
day tomorrow. And again, we're going to be out here upstairs for the bourbon and barbecue. Go online, Gulfstreampark.com. All right, we're going to take the second break, but before we
Who
do,
wins the last race, man? You didn't even give anybody
Well,
any
that one's
insight into
impossible.
that. I mean,
No.
the Mac the Armada.
So you
That's
just
Or
want
the
to throw a big-
Diarmida, or whatever
know-
you want to call it.
I know a lot of
Check
things
with Dave
this week.
Joseph on that.
Grant Sonata from Pletcher looks tough in there, and this is one for me. Missed the cut. So that describes my golf game. Missed the cut. Number 4 horse I like a little bit from Sherry DeVoe. Has been a good one. Luca Panici is on prevent for junior.
Luca actually gave out a viable tip horse the other day.
Yeah.
Horse ran in second, lost by a neck, 17 to 1. He,
All right.
he told my buddy Francesco he liked him, and ended up cashing a nice ticket on that
That's
horse.
good. All right. Before we take our second break, Delaware Chicken and Seafood
Where's Joe
Farm.
Beja?
He's going to come. He's going to. I know
The
he's
big
got
man-
his
the big
COO in
boss is
town.
in.
He might have to do a little bit of lunch.
He's
lunching there.
putting his COO
We've got the
in front of
3
us.
horse winning
said
in a head bob.
Imagine
Doesn't count.
Imagine that.
For those who have the late double going, the
4
3.
schnorrs, and he's going to go and capitulate to entertaining his
COO.
COO.
Delaware Chicken and Seafood, DelawareChicken.com. Sign up for the weekly newsletter. Go in there for all the freshest products. We got the NCAA tournament season coming up. We've got Passover and Easter coming up. This is the place where you want to go to get all your holiday provisions, all your party provisions for the game watching parties that are going to be taking place over the next few weekends. Delaware Chicken and Seafood, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. You know what Tony loves, all those house-made sausages
Those sausages are awesome.
and the
And you
poultry.
got, what,
They-
5 to pick from?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's like
it's-
6 or 7 of
It's very impressive.
We're going to
lineup.
buy the
There
whole
he is.
case. one
There's
day.
Joe Beja.
Joe B. Look at
He's
this
on
handsome
time.
guy.
We
You're
got to
losing
take
too
our
much
second
weight.
break. We'll come back with him and catch up with all the latest goings-on here
Yes.
at Gulfstream Park after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and all right, we're back on the Lunchbox. I'm enjoying the great French dip with the house-baked bread here at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. I'm having a little bite of the truffle mac and cheese, an excellent side dish. And look who's here. It's Executive Director of Hospitality at Gulfstream, Joe Beja. Joe, kudos to you. It is a happening weekend. How are you holding up?
I'm good. We're
Yeah.
good. I mean, we have a bit of work ahead of us. Once the restaurant closes today, we're going to expect over 1,200 people here tomorrow.
1,200
Oh
tomorrow.
my God.
In
That
10
is a
Palms alone.
big day.
Oh,
10
just
Palms
in 10
alone?
Yeah, that's just 10
As
Palms.
if that's not enough with the big race day, 1,200 people. Oh, yeah, let's
God.
throw a little taste of the track, too.
Yes. Taste of the Track. We're at 285 tickets sold at the moment.
Excellent. Out of 320?
About 330, yes.
Okay, so get your tickets now if you don't want to get shut out at the door. Gulfstreampark.com is the place to buy them.
Yeah.
Do you still have VIP tickets left?
So we still do.
Okay, and
Yes.
that is for the first hour from 12 to 1.
Correct. And there's some special bourbons. Like we're going to have the Bullet 10-year and the Dickel 10-year. And a friend of mine became a minority owner of a new Japanese whiskey called Shibu. So I'm blurring the lines a little bit
Hey,
and
whiskey.
pouring their
Japanese whiskey
Whiskey
is close enough. To
aged in bourbon barrels.
Nice. So, and not that anybody's counting the hours, minutes, or days, but it's February 28th.
And
Except
you
for
know
what
what,
that
Mike?
It's
means.
now
Mayo-
1:46 p.m. I'm going to be breaking Dry February officially at noon tomorrow. So I've got 22 hours and 14 minutes, and I'll be barging through the front gates at the Flamingo Room and saying, "Bring on the
Yes.
Japanese whiskey, the George Dickel, the
I
everything."
have a list of all the heavy hitters.
Give
We're
me
at
the list of
16.
things that I'm going to be chugging at
Sure.
noon.
We will have Angel's Envy. We have Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey will also feature Long Branch, which is Matthew McConaughey's bourbon. Elijah Craig, Jefferson's Small Batch will be there. Where there's a new bourbon whiskey out of Texas called Balcones, which is made by Bullet.
Right.
So Bullet will be
Texas.
there. Bibb and Tucker, Redemption Rye, Buffalo Trace, Amador, Stone Street. There's a new Bob Dylan bourbon called
Oh,
Heaven's
really?
Door.
Heaven's Door is
Uh,
good. It's real
wow.
good.
Yeah. And then
That's
we
a
have
little macabre for an 80-year-old
yeah. And then we have
knocking on heaven's door
God.
with his own
No, what
bourbon.
if it's
Yeah.
Heaven's Door is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
it's good. And then Brown Sugar Bourbon, Jamie Foxx's, Fraser and Thompson's, Michael Bublé. So we got a little bit of celebrity.
All these
But
celebrities.
these are all the bourbons that we're offering tomorrow. It's like 17 of them in,
Oh,
in total.
Bublé's
Okay.
got what? Bublé's got what bourbon now?
I think it's called Fraser and Thompson.
Okay. And it sounds all very enticing. And you're going to be doing some of the pre-batch specialty cocktails along with
Yes.
VIP hour. You're going to have a little bit of sips of the actual straight-up bourbons.
Correct. And the
whiskeys.
higher marks for the
Yeah.
first hour.
And
Not
luckily-
all of them, but some.
What
of
does
them.
it cost you? What does it cost?
So it is 105 for the VIP for tomorrow.
yep.
Because big day,
It's a
big
bigger
race
day, enhanced.
enhanced in the bourbon and barbecue. And then it's 85 for the general admission
Okay.
from 1 to 4.
it's
It's
well
it's
worth it.
the world.
World-class racing.
Yep.
Can't even count how many stakes races and graded stakes are on the card tomorrow. It's like a handful, like 5 graded stakes, 14 races. Start, I think, new post time tomorrow is 11:30.
11:30 for the
Yep,
first race.
early
Yes.
post, but the event will be opening at
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 noon.
And it goes
So-
to 4.
It'll go to 4 for the
Okay.
bourbon and the barbecue part. The
Okay.
bar itself stays open, and the music goes till 5.
Okay.
So last race is 6. You're always welcome to stay and linger or stay on property. It's just
Nice. 22
we like to make
hours
sure
and
everybody gets home
12 minutes.
safe.
22 hours and 11 minutes.
You know,
Why don't we go with the food rundown too? Because
Sure.
I will be partaking in. I need to have a little bit of nourishment along with all that
oh,
liquid.
you,
Yeah,
you
of
have
course.
to.
Val will
Or-
be coming as my designated driver, or maybe we'll Uber home.
Yeah.
Lubie, you
I'll be
and
with my
Shirley will
wife
be there
and
as
hopefully
well.
a friend of hers.
Tony,
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
want to come? Or...
I'd love to. My daughter's in town.
Oh, okay.
And she's
She
having a
doesn't
pub-
drink bourbon? All right. That's
Sounds like a designated driver to me.
she was a designated driver last night.
yeah. Oh, good. All right. So food lineup
The rundown's
wise, this is
ridiculous.
going to
Sure.
be great.
All right, so table number 1 will have fried pickles with ranch dressing and Texas-style bison red chili with cornbread croutons.
With actual bison?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
okay,
What do you mean
wow.
actual bison?
I
It's
know
a
it's
great
Jason. I'm
protein.
just
It's good.
Yeah.
No, it's
Again,
fake
it's not
bison.
no, but you could dub it that and maybe use some kind of another meat. That's amazing.
Table number 2 is smoked chicken wings with Alabama white
I
sauce.
love
Yeah,
that.
they did
that
that
was
last
from
time. That's
last year.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And Nashville hot smoked pulled chicken course sandwich.
Okay.
Ooh, on croissant.
Yeah,
Ooh,
absolutely.
okay.
And then table number 3 will be our 18-foot long barbecue buffet.
Long
Oh, that's a
table.
big ass
So yeah,
table,
I was going over this with my chef Jason. He's like, "How many feet you need for all this?" He goes, "Let's do 3 6-foots." I'm like, 18 feet of barbecue.
That's a
Wow.
lot.
All right, so we have
That's 6 yards of barbecue.
yes. So we have the Killer Hogs pulled pork nachos
Nice.
with spicy bourbon barbecue, and then we have we'll have of course pickled red onions, garnish, and slices of white bread like you will with any other.
Yeah, real
long
deal
buffet
barbecue.
table.
Yep, yep.
And then we'll have the Texas 3-2-1 smoked barbecue brisket, St. Louis style barbecue
The
spare ribs,
Nice.
South Carolina golden barbecue chicken drumsticks.
Nice.
We'll have a cheddar jalapeno hot linked sausage,
Which is fantastic.
and we're gonna do a cold smoked barbecue salmon.
Oh, you're throwing salmon in there.
No,
Yeah,
he's throwing in something a little bit different. And I happen to like that a lot
Yes.
because our friend Chef, the Green Egg Ron did a
Yep.
cold smoked salmon for a barbecue competition a couple of years ago, and he actually finished like third. It was
Yep.
a really good.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a little bit
If-
healthier,
if-
and it's beautiful.
If you can't find something to eat and certainly something to drink, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, and I like
And
that
it's
chef.
worth $105.
I like that Chef Jason covers all. If you notice, he said South Carolina, Alabama. Like
Yes.
Chef Jason likes to
he
cover.
covers.
He
all
understands. There's an
forms of
he's
barbecue.
from
all the
Chicago. Where they do
barbecue
barbecue. He understands
grounds.
the world of
And-
barbecue, and he
So
mixes it up.
Joe, I got to show you something. This is for my dinner last night at Calusa, which is at the new Pier 66. Not only was it like Michelin worthy in terms of food, service, atmosphere, they also do a sight gag, and I think this might be the perfect accompaniment to your 18-foot barbecue table.
Oh
How
wow,
about a pepper mill that'll
go.
go on to
It's like
match
6
it?
feet.
that's amazing.
That is a very big pepper mill that they have there at Calusa, and
Apparently, titled "Size Does Matter."
and it just was one of those things. They brought it out to the table and you just
Yeah.
laugh, and I was like,
Yeah.
I like that playful tone, but
Yes.
it might, when you have
Yeah.
18 feet of barbecue.
You need it. Big
I'm
utensils.
sure you're gonna have
That-
maybe fats of sauce to pour on it.
Oh yeah,
Al can be doing some of that too.
that would be funny.
But wait, there's more, because besides tomorrow, and I know you want to take it one big day at a time, but we can't lose sight of the fact that the Florida Derby and the Wine and Derby event is
Yes.
coming up right around the corner. Also, in
That'll
March.
be coming up. I already started reaching out to a few of the wine vendors that I bumped into the last weekend at South Beach Food and Wine Festival. I'm like, are you on the 29th? Are you on the 29th? So I went around like Whispering Angel and Duckhorn and all these other
Oh,
brands
Duckhorn,
that'll
yeah.
be featured there.
See,
so
he's always working, even when we think he's taking a day.
He's working all the
hooky
time.
yeah,
down at the South Beach Wine and Food Festival. You are lining them up for the big Derby and Wine and Derby event, March 29th, another Saturday for the Florida Derby Day, and also tickets for that on sale now.
on our website. So same thing.
When do you
Gulfstream
get a
Park.
chance to drink?
Him on his days off.
All
Probably on my day off, or as I was.
No. when everybody's done.
Oh, actually, believe it or not, I'm going to start drinking in about a half an hour because we are pre-batching on the third
you
floor
got it.
right now.
Nice.
So I'll get to
Little-
be the official taste
Good
tester.
for you.
I was joking around that I was going to make staffing T-shirts for Taste of the Track, and it said on the back, just coin the phrase, "We don't day drink, We pre-batch.
Hey, you got to have the quality control,
That's
and
it.
you got to make sure everything is just right. And I don't think like he's one of those wine tasters, the spitting out.
No,
I think he's
Joe's
gonna
not.
have to
No,
see
no.
how it
He's
goes down
Italian. You
all the
finished
way.
that one. You don't
No,
want
Well,
to.
yeah,
I mean-
because part of the bourbon experience is the aftertaste and how it
Yes.
goes down.
Down,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is my last meeting of the day, so it's all planned accordingly.
Oh, good.
Well, let's
The
get out of
man.
here then.
And you'd be very proud, Joe, because the contest this week, we are doing an all horse racing contest. We're basically making people pick, besides the restaurant, which in honor of Fat Tuesday Mardi Gras on this
Tuesday.
Tuesday, we're
Yeah.
doing a New Orleans restaurant. I don't know if you know this one offhand, but it's the oldest running restaurant in New Orleans, dating to 1840.
Okay.
And it's the birthplace of Oysters Rockefeller. We already gave the clues.
If I'm guessing, is it?
don't say it.
Don't give it.
but
Can
yeah.
I give a clue?
Yes. Sure.
Is it a? Can it be also known as a French person's first name?
Yes, and it was a
you.
last name of a famous weathercaster in New York who got booted off the air for saying something inappropriate.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't know if that one works.
Was that clue from Tony?
No, that was actually I came up with it, and Defo immediately
right
knew
ahead.
that one.
Yeah.
But yes, so you've got that. You're on the right track, and then we're asking people to come up with the winner of the Fountain of Youth, numbers 1 through 8, and then the last race, the 14th race, which is after the Fountain of Youth, the Mac Diarmada, which is going to be a full field of 12. So it's kind of straight up horse racing, late daily double.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great day of racing
Big
tomorrow.
day.
Come on out.
Big day.
It's all good.
Yeah, it'll be great tomorrow.
Well,
We're going to
Joe,
be busy
great.
all over.
I will see you bright and early. It is now only 22 hours and 5 minutes until dry February is over.
Something's with you, man.
Maybe I'm a little too eager. Maybe I do have a problem. Maybe I
That's
should
an-
just not
that's-
ever
yes.
drink again.
That's an understatement.
No, I'm not going to do that. All right. Let's take our final break. Joe, a
Sounds
pleasure
You're
as
the man, my
always.
friend.
Best of luck to you, Joe.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything later. Even today, it seems like you
No,
got a
the
lot of people
energy
here.
Yeah.
here.
We'll have about a
It's
little over
been-
400 people today.
Oh, okay.
Here
Because,
today,
yeah,
so
I
it's
mean,
a good crowd.
they're using tables that usually are not in
I
play.
know.
But
I thought to myself, I probably should have put them on the other side where
Yeah, we
less
could.
crowd.
I mean, we
Yeah.
could have been over there, but
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
We'll
Well,
go
we'll do
anywhere
that-
you want us.
Next
Florida
week, the
Day,
hallway.
for sure.
Yeah, right.
And you know how much we appreciate you
love
and
you
all
guys.
the great hospitality, and you too. I don't know if you saw one of the contest winners posted something very nice on the Let's Eat group this past
Oh, that's
week.
great.
Virginia Goodfellow. I forgot to forward it to you, but
Oh, nice.
she just talked about what a great. And she didn't even mention about being a contest winner. She just said this is a great option for people who are visiting and coming in from out of town. When you think of Sunday brunch, don't forget about 10 Palms because they've got the great buffet. She
Yeah.
was praising the whole prime rib and some of the hot dishes. I love the omelet station, but don't forget it's here and available every weekend. You have buffet Saturday and Sunday, but the Sunday one is the one with the omelet station.
More breakfast oriented.
More breakfast
I
oriented.
mean, last week we did a cornflake crusted French toast
Ooh.
like casserole in there. It was like-
and you
so
guys
it was
are
just really
always
good.
coming up with the good stuff.
Well, and
And
in that vein, remember we have our
Oh,
brunch bash
brunch
coming
bash.
up beginning
Yes.
of
April 6th.
We're getting through February and March because Joe needs to breathe, and then we're going to be doing it beginning of April.
Sunday, April 6th. If
Yes.
you want in on it, even if you're not a contest
No,
winner,
yeah, he
you
still
can
hooks
show
up.
up and you'll get a 20% discount off the usual
Which
price.
is
So
nuts.
$44 instead of $55 plus the standard tax and tip. And you get a mimosa that's
Yep.
included with that deal and an all-day buffet. And you get to stay and play the races with us. And it's going to be a fun time. April 6th, email me at mikemayoeats@gmail.com. Just RSVP with the number of people in your group and your name.
It's a blast.
We don't
We
collect
really enjoy
any
it.
funds until the day of. Please try to be accurate with the count, and we'll
Yep,
get
yep.
the tally to Joe the Friday before that. And it's going to be a fun time.
It's
Live
really good
racing here, and also Keeneland spring meet will be in full flight.
Nice.
It's going to be a really fun day.
Yes, it will.
Sunday, April 6th.
4 days
Joe,
before my birthday.
we thank you as
There you
your
go.
Well, the
birthday.
tournament may be going on, and they have TVs freaking everywhere, which is
Yes.
so
Yeah.
cool. You don't miss out on anything when you're here.
You'll have to come out so we can sing happy birthday.
Yeah,
to you.
we'll celebrate your
Okay.
birthday here, my friend.
Baseball will be going on. It'll
Yeah,
be
you got
opening week
baseball.
with
We got it all right
so
here. Come
everything
out.
Baseball,
could watch
Sunday,
anything.
April 6th.
March Madness.
Yankee fan, right?
Yes.
Are you
Yankees, they should
excited
be
for
stoked.
everything?
Yeah.
For an extension for Aaron Boone? Is Aaron Judge
I
going to
mean,
actually produce in the
I'd love to get
postseason?
one more infielder, but other than that, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm
You
a
know.
little upset that Soto left, but you know,
I'm a little upset. Well,
that he
I'm,
came. You ever said he went
I'm
to the
a
Mets?
Mets fan. I don't know. I got a bad feeling. heads up, who do you think is going to win more games this year, Yankees or Mets?
Yankees.
I think Yankees do, and I'm a Mets fan.
And not saying just because the Yankees are a better team. You got to look at the divisions. I mean, the Red Sox beefed themselves up a little bit, but still, in that the Mets, you don't even know if they're going to get out of the division. You got
my
Philly,
God.
you got
And the
Atlanta,
Braves, yep.
you know, and then when you get out of the division, who are you going to face? Arizona or LA in the playoffs?
The Dodgers.
Like,
oh,
at least
Jesus.
with the Yankees, I'm like, who's going to rise? Who's
The
going to
rest
rise
of
up
the
in the
AL
American
sort
League?
of, eh.
Everyone's taking a step back. Houston's
Yeah.
taking a step back. Everyone's taking a step back. So
All right, don't gloat
We'll see.
just yet.
I'm
How
not
many,
jinxing it.
When was that last World Series title?
2009.
And was last decade the first in their storied
We did the
history
math. I think
without
it was,
a World
right?
Series ring? Like
Let-
they won a
you know, Joe,
championship every decade.
I
right?
don't think they won in the 80s.
See, 81 they won.
No,
81,
81 they won against the Dodgers.
I thought
didn't
they lost in 81 to the Dodgers.
I'm gonna have
He
to look
lost
that one
check
up.
that
to the
one.
Dodgers.
Oh wow.
Good for Joe because
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so
Well,
80s,
heard
and
otherwise.
yeah.
I'm trying to, well, forget it. I'm
Well,
a
listen,
Mets fan. What do I?
you know,
got
I
to
could argue
crow
that
about?
we could have won a World Series if people didn't bang on trash cans, but that's okay. I'm still sore about that one.
All right, Joe. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow and again next week. Again, 22 hours and 1 minute, but who's counting? Let us take our final break, and we'll be back to wrap up this week on the Lunchbox after these words.
Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail, and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information,
All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. A couple things. Again, email those entries for the contest and also RSVPs for the Brunch Bash on April 6th to Mike
We've
Mayo
been having it in a
Eats
while. I'm super
at
excited.
gmail.com.
But I was going to say when Joe was here, so I feel bad not saying in front of him, we were with Steve Dupuzzo. And again, experiences are the new thing, right? With everyone being lazy,
Yeah.
being tired. wanting to eat at home, to go out and eat, it's got to be about an experience. They get that here,
This
but
is
what
the
they
ultimate
but
experience.
what's great between Chef Jason and their team
It's
and Joe, you don't skip a beat with the food either. The food is
It's
really high
awesome.
quality and it's fantastic.
Not only
fantastic.
that, I think this is the only restaurant in town where you can legally come out
And wager.
ahead with more money than you entered with.
And,
You come in, if you're right about a couple of races,
Yeah.
yes, right.
instead of paying $50, they pay you
Yep.
$100 or $200,
Yep.
and then you got enough money to pay for the meal,
Look like a pro.
to tip like a champ, and walk out the door feeling flush. And
You
that
can't-
is why
Yep.
I think horse racing is the best
You
game in
can't
town.
beat it. It's the way to go. And you know what? The taste of the track
Yep.
is
No, they're fun.
It's-
They do a great job.
No, they're
I mean,
fun.
Chef
worth it
Jason, top notch.
just to have the food.
Well, that's the thing is we just had the South Beach Wine and Food Festival. We had the Visual Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, and they do a fantastic job. That is something they do 4 or 5 times a year, and it feels very reminiscent of that. But even
You
on
do it
another
every
level,
week when you have these big
They do it every
races.
week.
even on
But
another level,
Pegasus Day, Florida Derby Day, tomorrow.
because
with
it's
the Florida-
spaced well. The food's
That's
great,
great.
and great drinks. It's
Hey,
fantastic.
a couple of sponsor notes. First of all, our friend Evan Darnell, Red Meat Lovers Club, they're going to be throwing a great bash, a takeover of Anthony's Runway 84 in Fort Lauderdale,
Ooh.
March 10th. Go online to the RMLclub.com,
RML Club.
Red Meat Lovers Club. So just do the initials RMLclub.com to get your tickets for that, March 10th. And then a couple of things. Tropical Acres, if you have a good day here
That's
or
great. Thank
anywhere at work, go on over there right now after work for the happy hour, 4:30 to 6:30, half price drinks in the bar. We love Tropical Acres. And if you have a big day here tomorrow, you can go right to Casa D'Angelo in Aventura,
Yeah, that's a
or
celebratory
the
place.
flagship in Fort Lauderdale. Make a reservation. Go to casa-d-angelo.com, because we love Angelo Elia and all his upscale Italian properties. They do
Awesome.
a great job.
It's awesome.
It is awesome, awesome, awesome. Everybody have a great weekend. Tony, thank you. Lubie, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Defo, hope you hit the next race.
Yes.
And enjoy every French dip sandwich.